Wow. So yeah, so that just happened, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was. A lot of people, a lot of people say, well, Tampa, well, they had that rest and they hadn't played in a week, and some have said I've read tweets saying they must be we've warmed up to Edmonton very quick because like I said before, it's the conference finals now, and every game beginning with last night's game one of the Western Conference Final. Every game's gonna be played in the Edmonton bubble now. Toronto is done with their games. So yeah, the Eastern Conference Final, the Western Conference Final, and the Stanley Cup Final all at Edmonton. And Tampa, they adjusted well, didn't they? And to think this game was actually 1-1, and the Islanders almost scored on a shorthanded breakaway. But after that, that's when all hell broke loose. After that 1-1 tie, Tampa Bay outscored them 7-1. What is it with Tampa Bay against New York teams this year? I mean, first the Rays seem to beat the Yankees every time they breathe, and now this. But anyway, so Tampa is up 1-0, and the Islanders need to wake up and do some adjusting. Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, 5 points each. Braden with 2 and 3, Nikita with 1 and 4. And I think they just put a hurting on the Islanders. I mean, it's ridiculous. But it's only one game. It's only one game, no matter what the score looks like, whether it's 1-0 in the West or 8-2 in the East. It's still one game. It's still 1-0. It's a long series. And Islanders need to just get things together, dust themselves off, and see if they can get the job done in Game 2, which is Wednesday. Game tomorrow night is Game 2 of the Western Conference Final, and that's between Dallas and Vegas. Dallas is up 1-0 and 1-0. Yeah, Vegas needs to find a net. And I read some interesting news elsewhere. So Washington's two choices I've heard for the next head coach are Mike Babcock and Gerard Gallant. Now, Babcock, I remember him coaching Detroit and Anaheim for many years. He's won cups, but then it was when he got to Toronto, that's when things kind of got crazy. There was stories of him just messing with players, bullying players, and that atmosphere was just bad for the team. So they ended up axing him, but that didn't help them, as Toronto in this modified pandemic-caused playoff format still failed. So should Washington hire Babcock though? Ugh. He may get results, but at what cost? And then there's Gerard Gallant. Now, Gerard Gallant, I remember as the head coach for the Panthers, and they unceremoniously fired him in such terrible fashion. But of course, Gallant, in 2017, he gets hired as the inaugural head coach for the Vegas Golden Knights. And Vegas has that great first season ever and goes to the Stanley Cup Final, wins a game. But they were beaten by the Washington Capitals in that Stanley Cup Final. His tenure with the Knights didn't last too long either. He was only there for a season and a half. Was it a season? No, it was 2.5 seasons. They fired him around the midpoint of this season, but things are kind of clicking for Vegas. But Gallant knows how to win, and the Ovechkin Capitals want to be more than just one-hit wonders. So I think Gallant's the guy. Yes, Babcock has the cups, but he's also got baggage. Gallant doesn't have a lot of baggage, so if I'm Washington, if I have to choose between those two, I would say Gerard Gallant. I would. He should be the guy. So that was a big story I just read. It was just crazy. And that's my recap of Game 1 of the East Final. I'll be back tomorrow night to recap Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, see if Vegas evens it up or if Dallas goes up 2-0. That could be interesting. So with that, I say until tomorrow night, my fellow hockey fans.